Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down exactly how to find the best areas to start wholesaling real estate, the best markets. And really, after you find the best markets, we're going to also show you how to find the best zip codes and areas in those markets so you can be as successful as possible in your wholesaling real estate business for a beginner. What is up? We're ready to go. So this is Zach Ginn.
Rick Ginn here.
And we're going to break this down today. Guys, we are just going to share all of our experience in virtual wholesaling and in-person wholesaling when it comes to finding the best wholesaling real estate deals. I'm super excited. I'm super jacked up today to help everybody learn wholesaling real estate so you can know exactly what you need to get done for the best success possible. Before we break it down, guys, y'all already know the drill. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Guys, hit the bell on there, guys. The only bell I ever ask you to do is just the subscribe bell. It's the only bell we deal with in this business. And comment below your questions, and I'd love to help you guys out learn wholesaling real estate. So we're going to break it down, guys, today, and we're going to break it down. So, guys, let's get it going.
Let's do it.
You already know what time it is. When you know it is wholesaling real estate time, there's only one person that get you guys jacked up for it. So without further ado, let's break it down.
Do it.
Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Snap! What's up, guys? We are here. We are ready to go. So we're just going to get into it, guys. So just so everybody understands what we're going out here, we are currently being hit with a hurricane as we speak. So the power is on right now. In 30 minutes, the power can go out. In 4 hours, the power can go out. All I know, the power is going to go out, and the internet's going to go down. So yeah, I mean, you could be on a generator, but the internet ain't going to be working with that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we looked at every way, and then Elon Musk didn't help us out the Starlink. So whatever, they're going to give it to the people that are in, war zones and stuff. So no big deal, guys. So guys, that's what we're going to break down today. So we are a little early on the live stream, but the point is so we can share with you the information because we have to get the transmission out here to everybody. This is our emergency hurricane live stream. So you guys see my Instagram story. Parking lot's flooded, but it's okay. Hey, It's okay because we're here to help you guys out because no hurricane is going to stop me. No stinking broke guru ain't going to stop me. So we're just going to break it down. So let's kind of talk about this from the top, right? If you're a beginner in wholesaling real estate, you need to find the best markets and the best areas. Like, I mean, how important it is to find a good area for wholesaling, right? Because you could be in the best wholesaling market, but if you're going after the wrong properties and the wrong area, you're going to think that there's no gold there, right? Like, this is a terrible market. But the issue is you're probably not going after the right lists and you're going after the wrong areas, right? Yeah, so that's what we're going to break down today, and that's really what we're going to share. So what is the importance of having a good market?
Well, I mean, your market's everything. So either you're doing this locally, you're doing it virtually. And sometimes, like, I've been guilty of just jumping into a market because I had some success. I moved with it. But locally, you need to find the neighborhoods that are going to work best for you. And just so you guys often know, it's not the neighborhood you live in. So I like to look for any type of properties where there's an average median price or below. I don't like to go too far below. And here's a really cool thing. If you're doing local and you're doing virtual, you literally get to pick anywhere you want to go on planet Earth to do it. And this is your time to really kind of dig in the numbers and find out. And remember, the reason you go to another market is because you believe you're going to have success. Either you have history there, you live there, you have family there, that all helps out. But if you have none of that, we're going to talk today about how the best way is to select those markets to make sure you're picking the right ones. And honestly, I love to let other people do the work for me. I don't like to reinvent the wheel. And that's that's one of my secrets successes is find people that are having success in market and just duplicate what they're doing. And if you're saying that, like, how do I do that? It's real easy. Just get on any wholesaler cash buyers list that do not vet their cash buyers and they use their ego. And honestly, you can save yourself a lot of time and money just by using that little trick.
Yeah, guys, we have a ton of those little tricks on here today on how to do it. And we're really excited for it. So without further ado, let's break this down. Let's kind of get into the nitty gritty information for you guys to know for the best success possible. So let's break this down on how to find the best market. So like, let's talk about virtual markets really quick, starting out right. Like, so how do you find the best virtual wholesaling markets? I've always found here in wholesaling real estate to find the best virtual wholesaling markets, it's good to stick to two key principles. Now, if you keep to these two key principles, you're actually going to do very well. You're actually going to be able to find the best deals, and you're also going to be able to find the best cash buyers for those deals. So there's a lot of motivation with these sellers. They're willing to take the properties down for a discount. And then you also have cash buyers to buy the deal, because there's a lot of these rural areas out here that have like 4,000 people living in them. And yeah, you might get a really good discount, but nobody wants to buy that stinking property, right? So it's sort of like supply and demand. Maybe I can buy ice for 10 cents on the dollar, but the problem is I'm in Alaska, right? Like it might be a good deal in Houston, right? Where it maybe it's hot in the summer, but in Alaska, it ain't a good deal, right? So you just depend on where your market is. You might have a good deal relatively to what other wholesaling's at, but you got to know what market you're in. So just understand that. So what's the principle and rules I always tell everyone to follow? I always tell everybody follow this simple rule. Guys, make sure your city's population is over 50,000. Guys, make sure the city's population is over 50,000. This will ensure there's plenty of buyers ready to actually go out here and buy your wholesaling deals from you guys. So make sure the city population is over 50,000. I'm telling you guys, that will work very well for you. That will probably give you the best chance of success. Make sure that is there, 50,000. And then I like your ARVs, your average ARV, to be below $300,000. Make sure your ARV is below 300,000, because if the average ARV is below 300,000, that means on average they're willing to take more of a discount on property. When somebody owns a property over $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000, they're less willing to take a deep discount on the property. Just it's the law of large numbers, right? So it's easier for me to get 60 cents on the dollar on a $300,000 house, so there's motivation from the seller, versus 60 cents on a dollar on a $30 million penthouse in Bel Air in California, right? Like there's a key difference between that. Just it's the price. People are less willing to give a discount the higher the value of the asset. That's pretty much how wholesaling works. So if you keep the ARVs under 300,000, you have the best examples and the best chance of getting deals. So let's go over some examples of these really good properties, these really good areas to start wholesaling at for virtual. Now, I'm not telling you guys to use this market, but these are examples that I do have on here. So the first and foremost, like Memphis, Tennessee, ARVs are very low, very high population. A lot of these cash buyers, they're really looking to buy a lot of rental properties. So it's pretty easy to figure out what the rent's going to be in the area, and then you can sell it to the cash buyer. Very simple and easy. I'm telling you guys straight up watching this right now, it's absolutely killer for you to use this. Memphis, Tennessee, amazing markets. Next one, something like Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, the Midwest of the United States is really hot on fire right now, right? There's a lot of rentals, there's a lot of cheap assets, and a lot of cash buyers there. So I definitely think Fort Wayne, Indiana is something no one really talks about too much, but it's absolutely an amazing market, right? I just don't think people talk about these type of little Midwest markets, right?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, these aren't the only markets. I'm just trying to like spur ideas for you to understand, especially if you're in a market that's just crazy. I don't think any market's like super saturated, but San Diego, San Francisco, Manhattan, Miami. If you're in markets like that, the sky's the limit. So like, look at these examples we're putting up there, because these are places where people have had a ton of success. And like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, man. Just like go where the money is. Like there's opportunities. Real estate's all localized. So the beauty of these are up and coming areas that have not achieved the status of places that I've mentioned before. So
yeah. And like one thing I want you guys to understand, like Fort Wayne, Indiana, like, I mean, have you ever heard of Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Actually I have.
You have, but like, it's not commonplace. No. And the population of Fort Wayne, Indiana, 265,000. Massive.
That's pretty
And
big.
the amount of wholesalers that talk about Fort Wayne, Indiana, very low, right? Everyone goes to Indianapolis. Guys, there's so many buyers there, right? And just like, it's not really talked about, but like, there's a ton of them, right? I just want everybody to understand that, like, it's crazy, guys. I'm telling you, Fort Wayne, Indiana, absolutely amazing, guys. Should be going after that one. Dayton, Ohio, another Midwest market that works really well. Kind of in the Southeast, right? Springfield, Missouri. Now, I talked about too much, but guys, ton of buyers there. I'm telling you, like, huge population, great deals, and you get a lot of properties really for great discounts. And then like Davenport, Iowa, another Midwest, right? Like, so a lot of these places that I'm talking about right now are in the Midwest and in the Southeast of the United States, just because there's cheap properties and people love them to buy them, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the point. So what's the next method here that I've found a lot of success with? Honestly, what I could tell you is I found a lot of success in wholesaling just by asking my cash buyers. And what do I mean by asking my cash buyers? Legit. Ask your cash buyers what areas they're looking to buy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so we're talking more and more like as the market shifts, you guys got to spend more intel getting from your cash buyers. So like we've ignored cash buyers for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's coming back to haunt a lot of people. So talk to your cash buyers and get intel and just ask them, where are you looking to buy? And they will tell you. And they're all going to look for stuff around the average median price of up and coming areas. So it's not like rocket science, but your cash buyers will reaffirm the areas and the price points and the type of properties they want to buy. And if you don't listen to them, you can't guess. So you have to know where they're going to go. And for God's sakes, talk to more than one. Talk to 5, 10, 15. And because as soon as you think you have a market figured out, cash buyers will start to shift. So like an example, we're in Florida. The price points have gotten so high. A lot of these investors are shifting and going to other markets where they feel there's better opportunity, there's better price points, and better ways to make money. And so you got to pay attention when they make that shift. So the only way you can do this is by talking to them.
Yeah, they'll tell you like, hey, I'm looking to buy this area, this area, this area, right? Like the reason why I tell you guys to buy properties and put it under contract in the areas your cash buyers say is because you give your cash buyers zero excuses not to go with you. And what do I mean by that? So you're looking here. If your cash buyer wants to say, hey, this is the zip code I want, 3.2s, rental properties, that's what I want. Guess what? Oh, and I want it under 150. What if you get a property under contract for 110 and it's a 3.2 in that area to a cash buyer for 140? They literally can't say no because they said that's their criteria, right? I'm not no. I mean, obviously it might need repairs or anything, but like that. But like you give your cash buyers zero excuses, right? Yeah. Zero excuses why they can't buy that deal. And this just gives it back to like people that say, oh my gosh, Zach, I'm struggling so much on selling my wholesaling deals. It's not about that. Okay. Like if you're struggling, just understand why. You're in the process in wholesaling where you put a property under contract and then you sell that contract. So there's two processes to it. Like it's not just about getting deals. It's about selling the deal too.
Yeah.
That's the second part about wholesaling. And
it's more important now with the ever-changing market that you guys communicate and spend more time with your cash buyers. I know your gurus taught you to ignore them. They're a dime a dozen. I'm just telling you, they are not a dime a dozen, not even close. They're more like 90 cents per dollar.
Yeah.
Meaning you're going to have to talk out of 9 to 10 to find one to buy your property. So you was the other way around really for the last 7 years. And it's changed, guys. If you see what's going on with interest rates, I'm pretty sure we're at 8 now. We got to be close to it.
Yeah.
And there's room to go to 9. Some people are talking about 10. I think that's a little much, but you got to understand somebody has to buy these properties, and cash doesn't have the same obstacle as a 9 or 10% mortgage rate. But remember, they have a million options. Me and Zach are being presented with more opportunities than I've seen in the last 5 years. And I know it's only going to get so much better. Like you got November and December coming along, which is not going to get any better. And then we're rolling into the following year, which I think is going to be 12 months of just, it's going to be pain in the market. So guys, you have to go for the go for no price, and you've got to stay in touch with your cash buyers. Start spending time with them. Heck, even have meetup groups with them, educate them, see what's going on. because I'm telling you, they are going to be presented with a ton of opportunities. There's very few cash buyers, and there's going to be lots of deals, and whoever gets the sweetest deal is going to get the best. Marginal deals will not cut it anymore. Do not buy them.
No, they have to be a lot of motivation, right? And you kind of talked about in your live stream on Monday about it, but guys, it works really well. So what if you can't talk to your cash buyers? You want to find even more areas, right? Just find out where a lot of the rental properties are at, because if you're finding cash buyers and they're going to flip the house or they're going to rent the property out, where there's usually rental properties are in like clusters in cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not like, some of them are all over the place, but like some of them like clusters, because like we said, we really like to go after properties that have a lower ARV, but the crime rate's a little lower too, right? So it's kind of like a blue collar neighborhood, and those are really good for rentals, and they're really clustered together. So look at where rental properties are at. Look for ARVs that are cheap, that have rental properties that are in decent condition, and find those areas. And that's probably going to be a good area to wholesale, because if there's already rental properties there, call the landlords up and see if they're looking to buy more rentals in that area, and then say, yes, fine, go after it, right? You could also reverse wholesale. And this is something we've said about ask your cash buyers, right? So I'll bring that back up, where you go to the cash buyer first. You don't even find the deal first. You actually go to the cash buyer first, and you ask them, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, like, are you looking to buy more properties? Yes, I'm looking to buy more. Well, what areas you're looking like that? And then boom, you go after that specific area. That works too.
And that works well too on the deals that you're not getting the number you want. Like they're not meeting your number. Listen, you're not in like this old economy where you just throw everything under contract. Okay. That was reckless. That's pure speculation when you do that, and actually works in an up and coming market. But in this market, when somebody doesn't meet your price point, it means you got them in the follow-up phase. So either they're going to bend on price, or time is going to change their circumstance. You always hear time and circumstance, okay? Usually it's time. Circumstance happens over time. So when I have something sitting on the edge, that's a great time to talk to your cash buyer. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't give the cash buyer the address. Go, listen, I got this little 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Needs about $30K worth of work. It's got potential. You know, here I'm at with the number. What do you think? And just shoot them a number. So if you're under contract, if they were stuck at like 130, okay, and you said, listen, I got to get it at like 115 or below, that's the property where I'm going to present it to my cash buyer. I'm not going to give them the address, but I'm going to paint a very vivid picture for them. And I'm going to give them exact numbers. I go, what number do you think you would be in at that? And then I'm going to take their gauge and take that number. And if he says, I could probably do like 130 or like 132, then I'm going to go back. And now I got a backup kind of offer and say, listen, can we put that in writing? You can even put it like somewhat in writing, like even a letter of intent. Yep. Now you can go back to your seller and go, listen, I know you said like 130 was it. And just go back to him and say, listen, can we do 125 and I'll close in X amount of days? And maybe you wind up at like 127. All you got to do is get the buyers to come up a couple grand more. And now you've put together an $8,000 deal just by doing the reverse method. The key here is don't share the address, because they will go behind your back.
Oh, yeah.
So paint out the picture. You can even share pictures. You can share spreadsheet numbers. Here's the key to this. Give them real numbers. Don't give them BS comps. Don't give them BS repair numbers. You got to give them accurate numbers, because if you get to it and do all that and the numbers are bogus, you've just wasted everybody's time. So I'm going to be much more honest about the numbers. And then eventually, I know that seller's probably going to drop down to like 120, 125. If it takes 2 months, I got him at 130, 132. I can get him 125. Sometimes you just take the deal down. So hey, Rick, how do I know I need to take that deal down earlier? Well, if you need to pay your rent or your lights getting ready to be shut off, take it down earlier. If you've got time, then wait it out. We've all got bills to pay, but like some of you are just getting started out and you just need to get a few dollars in your bank account. It's okay to take wins. You will never get killed taking a profit.
No.
You just learn to go, okay, well, I collected $2,000. I've done deals where I've made $1,500. Why? Because I could. Okay. And there's no shame in this market in taking it. So if you guys are behind, you got payments due, you got to like put food on the table, take the couple $1,000s and live and fight another day. I'm just telling you. But if you can wait it out and you want the probabilities there, then wait it out. It's up to you guys. reverse engineering some of these deals works really well in this market. The key is do not share the address because they will slice you out of it immediately. And I'm telling you, I've been burned on it. We've all been burned on it. If you're new and you want to do this, that's great. Don't do this on every one of them.
No, but like if somebody you sold the deal to 3 or 4 or 5 times and they're trusted, sure.
Yeah.
Right. But like, just be careful. I do it on very trusted buyers. So that's why I find a lot of them.
And that's why you vet your buyers to make sure you actually have real cash buyers. You don't have wholesalers that are going to go behind your back.
Yeah. So the next one here is just find where people are flipping houses, right? So how do I find people who are flipping houses? I can use a service like listri.com, where basically I just go to PropStream and find properties that are being bought and sold for big profits in like 5 or 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty easy way to do it. One thing I've always found is just find where house flippers I've always seen. If you can identify on Facebook groups, people that flip houses, I have found these house flippers. You see it all the time. They like posting their deal because a lot of house flippers, I'm not making fun of them, but a lot of them are very proud about their flip. They're very proud about the craftsmanship of the subway tiles, right? They're very proud of it, right? So guess what they do? They post the deal on their Facebook, right?
Yeah.
New flip on the market, gonna sell fast. And it's like some crazy price, right? But here's the cool part. You can just scroll for like the year and find where they're flipping the houses. And they're buying it from wholesalers.
I see one more video of a wholesaler walking through how beautifully they decorated a house. Guys, just so you know, that has nothing to do with wholesaling. It's called a design show. And when you get into designs and stuff like that, honestly, it's much more ego pride than it is about profit, because a smart person would just, they would take the deal down and move as fast as they can.
Yeah,
that's how you make
some flippers flip and they make money from that too. But like,
drives me nuts.
What I mean by this is like a lot of these flippers are actually just going to go out here and they're just going to post their flip because they're proud of it. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
But here's the coolest part about that. Then I could find those areas and then go after those areas, right? Like if I'm starting out in wholesaling, these are the little simple things you can start doing to find these deals really quick and easy, right? It's amazing how easy it is right now with everything. Now, I spelled that wrong. I was pretty quick today, but trying this crazy hurricane writing this stuff down. But I was just copying this on my phone. But the next part is steal your competition's cash buyers. And I've said this a lot of times, and I get a lot of trouble every single time I say this, but steal your competition's cash buyers. So if your competition is posting everywhere that he made $30,000 on this check and this property, find out where that property was, find the cash buyer to that deal, and then boom, you're good to go, right? I found really well that if I could find where my competition's, who they're selling to, I could find where they're buying. So like if I find out that Joe Smith bought my competition's deal and he bought like 10 of his deals this month, I'm going to look up Joe Smith's company on the deed and on the public records, and I can find the addresses to all 10 properties he bought.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They're all in 8 of them are in the same zip code. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Guys, when people brag, use that to your advantage. Okay. Because a lot of the checks actually have the address on them. So
yeah. And listen, you're like, oh, well, that's unethical. Dude, it's done to us every day. Like, you can't stop it. It's public record. It's really not hard to figure it out. And that's why I tell you guys to leave your ego out of the business. And if you don't want people to duplicate everything you're doing, stop putting your deals all over the internet and sharing it for the world. Because
you can post your checks. You just block out your address.
Block out the addresses. Because like once I get like a target area, it's really easy to figure people out. And guys, I'm not proud that like I sit there and reverse engineer people's markets.
I'm proud of it.
It's super easy. Like,
I'm proud of it. I don't care.
You make it you guys make it so easy. Like,
I want to give everybody.
I want to reinvent the wheel by myself.
I want to give everybody watching this an unfair competition with their competition.
No. I don't know any other guru that teaches this method.
It's they'd never say that.
Oh,
maybe it's in the discovery call, but
maybe it's the 10 grand you pay them, then they tell you behind the scenes.
So the next one here is a very unique one where gurus literally don't talk about this at all, but like just ask your title company. Hey, I'm looking to wholesale. Do you have any tips on the best areas that you're finding these cash buyers are buying them in? Because if you're dealing with an investor-friendly title company, a good wholesaling title company, that deals with a lot of wholesaling transactions. The coolest part about this is they know the addresses, and they'll give you hints because they want you to close deals with them, right? Oh, these are the 3 top zip codes that we're finding these cash buyers buying them to, right?
Yep.
Another big tip: they want to get money, right? They are not loyal. I'll tell you this: they're not loyal to a wholesaler. Hey, do you have any cash buyers that are looking to buy any more properties for cash from the title company I get connected to? Guys, I'm telling you, ask. They might say no, but on the 50% chance they say yes, oh my gosh, that's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's your title companies are, how should I say this? They are like the gossip hub for everything real estate. They'll tell you what realtors are like the movers and shakers. They'll tell you who the cash buyers are, who has the most money. They'll tell you who the best hard money lenders are. They'll even tell you who the best soft money lenders are. Guys, they'll tell you if things are happening. If you want to get a pulse on what's going on in your local market, go to your local title company. Remember, they deal with hundreds and hundreds of realtors, a handful of investors. When you put it all together, like, you can get a ton of data from your title companies. And if you're really good, you form a great relationship by building rapport, and you'll actually get deals from your title company. I do all the time. Why? And by the way, my title company deals with 30, 40 investors. How do I get the deals? Because I treat them the kindest, the fairest, and I spend more time with them, and I try to figure out like what's going on. So it's, guys, your title company, you can't do this from day one, but you just build up over time. And honestly, within 6 months to 1 year, you can easily get to this status. Easily.
So just I don't know any other guru that says just ask the title company, but like
they don't,
because it's not ethical. Guys, I think it's pretty ethical.
It's ethical. It's
you're making the
fine.
money,
and it's free.
It's free, guys.
It's some of the best data too.
Your guru broke, and they don't know about this because they broke. If your guru rich, they'd actually know about this. They'll tell you about it, guys. I'm telling you, it works really, really well. So let's go to the next one here. Here, like I said this before, but I'm not saying this to be like there's a problem with a high crime area or anything about that. But like, I would avoid high crime areas with low ARVs, and the reasoning is because of 2 things. Your landlord buyers don't really want that area. And number 2, they don't want to deal with that area to flip because it gets broken into all the time. Like, we've done some flips in very high crime areas and it gets broken into all the time. It's just, your profit goes down the drain.
Yeah. So let me give you a little tip. If you're struggling with this and you're like, what are you talking about? Number 1, just get the feed from your local police department, and you can easily point out what areas are a problem. Number 2,
you can literally just ask them and just to be nice, and they'll actually be very helpful for you because they want you to feel safe.
Yeah.
What are the high crime areas in the city? I'm new. They'll give you all the statistics.
Number 2, when you look at the property appraiser site and you look at like the deed, if you see a long list of owners in a short period of time, it's what we call a history lesson. Unless you want to be on that long list, which I've been on that list, it means you are in a problematic area with a problem property. That's why it's changed hands so many times. Really good properties, if they're really good, people own them a super long time. Nightmare properties, what do? They get rid of them. And you'll see it. Foreclosed on by a bank, an investor bought it, investor quick claimed it, and then it got sold again, and then it got sold at auction, and then the bank again. And it happens over and over. I bought a property once. I want to say it had 68 different owners, and that's less than a 50-year period. And most of the owners, 25 of them were within an 8 to 10-year period. So knowing that, if you see a long transaction, that is what we call a history lesson. You're either going to learn from it and try to avoid it, or you're going to be part of the history. And then you're really going to learn the hard lesson. So I'm just telling you, if you see a ton of transactions on a property, you better note the area because that means it's problematic. And here's the funny thing is sometimes people think, well, it's just tied specifically to that property. No, it's typically an area. There's not one bad property and like occasionally in a good neighborhood. But for the most part, bad areas, that's it. Guys, I've made a ton of money. I've had my back windshield broken out. I've dealt with pit bulls chasing me. I've seen everything, and it's just not worth it.
You've dealt with monkeys. Opinion. You've dealt with people throwing bricks, right?
No, I've been chased out. Like,
yeah,
it's just
we've had Guys, when you do as many deals as we do,
I didn't get in this business to do that. Now, sometimes the properties choose
thought you
us
did.
and we don't choose them. But like when I started out, I did some really like I was doing $8,000 and $10,000 duplexes.
I want everyone to
it was really
understand
bad
though.
stuff.
I mean, I'm a Florida man. You're a Florida man. This is Florida, so this is just the typical day of a Floridian. Monkeys chasing you, bricks thrown at you, iguanas.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, a giant iguana was swimming.
Yeah. Guys, it's just Florida. Like you just get you. It's kind of. I was born into this. Like
Gators. I pulled gators out of swimming pools.
Fun fact to tell everybody, since we're in a hurricane right now, I was born during a hurricane. Hurricane was in the hospital while I was born.
And this is, by the way, this is the latest hurricane on record to make a landfall.
All right. Cool.
Especially, I don't know if it's the state of Florida, but I mean, we're in November.
That's crazy. So the next one here is just find low. This is what I like. Like I said, those blue collar areas, because your tenants on these, they're not going to afford too much rent, but they're going to work very blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
And it's because it's lower, right? So find low crime areas with low ARVs. That's the sweet spot. Yeah. So if property values are low, but there's not much crime in the area, they're absolutely amazing rentals. And that's where a lot of people like to buy. That's where I love buying, right? So people send me multifamily deals all the time. Like, this is what I look for because, and then obviously like, but how do you deal with the high crime areas? Well, a lot of the high crime areas are usually Section 8. So a lot of those people, that's a specific type of landlord. And they're okay buying those things all day. They don't flip them, but a lot of them are going to be rentals for there. And then the last and probably the most important one is ask your cash buyer investor realtor. And there's a lot of these investor realtors where I showed you guys in freewholesaling.com, like how to go realtor.com or Zillow and just find the recently sold and look for ugly looking houses that sold. Usually those are investment buyers. And just ask these realtors that have cash buyers, like, where are you looking to buy? I'll just send you some deals. They'll tell you.
I made a killing when I first started. I knocked on like every realtor's door. I think I knocked on like 130. And I got 2 realtors to send me deals. And, that was still some training and work through it. And it worked really well. Here's another tip. Talking on the previous bullet point. Is you're in a new age economy. So guys, if you see, like me and him had an epiphany once, we got stuck at a red light and remember, like, I swear like 100 prime trucks pulled out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it's like endless.
You proceeded to buy so many rentals.
I went back and I did research to find out Amazon opened up a distribution center right around the corner.
They kept it very hush-hush. They didn't really talk.
Yeah. And now like we went out and attacked that area, and who doesn't want a rental within like a mile or two of any of these distribution centers? Guys, if you see a ton of like prime trucks pulling all out, like take note, because these people they're blue collar workers. They're making a decent wage. And just from that tip alone, I was able to purchase, I think 4 or 5 homes. And here's the key is they weren't even homes. I did mobile homes and we were getting the same amount of rent as a house on it, but it was like 80% cheaper, and all from the Amazon trucks pulling out. So we typically ignore them, but when you see like 50 or 60 trucks pulling out, pay attention. So look and see if you have any up and coming, any type of like production plants. Like for a long time in Florida, to give you an example, the NASA, like they cut their budgets back, cut everybody out. And now they're bringing in the private sector with SpaceX and all this other stuff. And there's a complete revitalization to the area. 5 years ago, you could buy a house in there for 20 grand. And this was all laid out in front of us. I didn't take advantage of it, but I'm just here to tell you guys, look for those opportunities, especially if you're in the Midwest or in like the Southeast and you see these distribution centers coming. They bring thousands of employees and they all drive up the rents.
Yeah, I agree. So guys, that's how you find them. I just think it's super simple the way you can find really good areas. The issue is not a lot of people have that knowledge. So this is why in this video, we wanted to share the knowledge for you guys. So what I want to do right now is answer some questions you guys have on this topic. And then we like to go and do some Q&A, guys. So for as long as we have power, we're just going to be on this stream. So that's the point. I'll give everybody, I just looked outside the window. You're going to go check it out. It's getting a little hairy out there, but it's okay. I mean, it's funny because all the cars are shaking outside. Oh my gosh.
Holy moly.
Yeah, holy moly. So I'll show you guys really quick what's outside our window. This is kind of what we're looking at. Doesn't look too bad right now. But it's if you see the shaking on there, like I was going outside today, I was like, holy moly. Like those are those are like steel cameras and they're shaking hard, but it's getting a little weird out there. You see the cam on that right there?
Yeah.
That's outside right now for what we're dealing with. So just giving everybody an FYI. That is what's going on currently. So we should be good. The other cameras, actually, the feed got lost on them because it got a little too crazy. So yeah, things are getting kind of interesting. So it'd be kind of funny. What's this one?
Part of Florida.
Oh yeah, it's getting nutty. So that's it. So just FYI with what we're dealing with right now. I hope my truck didn't get hit with a coconut. I saw a bunch of coconuts out there. It's not good.
The tide's coming up quick, man. So
whatever.
it's going to be really bad around 7, 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah. So let's talk about. Oh, I also want to give everyone FYI. They talked about that deal yesterday, right? On the last FISBO, the guy called me back 7:10. I clicked the live stream button. I put the microphone on, and I actually recorded it. He told me on the thing, which it will be a recorded video. Do I have it on here? I can actually show you a little bit. I'll show you a little bit. All right. Actually, yeah. Actually have a little bit of the recording. Let me actually go pop that up for everyone thinking really quick. I actually got a little bit of it, so I'll share with you a little bit of the recording. Nothing too much. Just got to tease you guys a little on it. But yeah, we actually have the recording of him calling me back. So let me just go find it. I got a team editing the whole entire thing, but let me get. Where's he calling me back? Hold on. Is this it? Good. Appreciate it, buddy. Conversation. Hey, how's it going?
I called my brother and he's thinking I'm taking too little amount of money.
Okay.
For what I got. I don't know what to tell you. If your partners want to give me a call that are nearby and come out and take a look, see what I got, but my brother's been unscrewing himself.
Okay. So what price?
Well, he's like me. He said they wouldn't sell it, he said not under 90, he said go to the right price to begin with. He said, but it wouldn't go under 90 because he knows what I got in it too, and he thinks I'm just, I'm not being desperate to sell, but at the same time, since I'm disabled, it's not like the judge is going to throw me in jail, I can't pay my bills, right?
Yeah.
Just like, go out this way. He said, tell me get what, I've got in it. And he's not emotional attached at all. Don't get me wrong. He don't live here. He's happy where he is. It's not like he's got any interest other than looking out for, the little brother. That's it.
Okay.
But at the same time, if
Yeah.
the company's interested in it and wanted to give me a call and meet up, it's hard to find anyway. And UPS can't even find me. FedEx can't find me.
So how about this, buddy?
Yeah.
I mean, at 90, if I use the 10% off there, that's 80. Does that work?
Well, let's see. Zach, why don't we do this, man? I don't know. Do you, how long have you been buying houses? I mean, who do you work for?
So I work with my dad. So we've both been buying properties for over 20 years. Well, I mean, 6 for me, 20 for him. But I mean, I don't think the cash I have is going to affect, or how long I've been buying is going to affect the cash I have right now. So.
Well, that's true. But if you can, the way I want this thing to work, may not be the way it's going to work, but the way I prefer it to work is to someone, like you said, even the way you want it to work as well. get someone to come out and look and make sure what you're buying, you know,
Yeah.
and then, you know, we can, if we can reach that point, and anyone that's ever came to look at it, or any relative that's tried to find where I live with a GPS, your AT&T, your Verizon, your T-Mobile that goes out before you even get on my road. But I have to meet them somewhere, you know, a convenience store or whatever. I've been doing, well, I've had it on, as you can see, I've had it on there over 100 days. And so I made several trips. Even the people said, yeah, I know Stardust Road, they get lost. Then you get no reception. Then they end up going back into town, and then I end up going to get them.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if you do want to send somebody out, if you could give me a heads up or have them call, give me a heads up, I'll gladly meet them and gladly show them, you know, what I got here, and we could go from there. That way your side would be, you know, since we're talking numbers, I don't want, you know, it just seems like more feasible. We do it that way, and it's not like someone's going to buy it out from under you tonight, you know?
Yeah. So do we have an agreement on 80,000? And then from there, we can have somebody go there and just confirm it. I just don't want to go there and deal with the price. If that works, I can have somebody go out. If it's not, no big deal. We can walk away. But I do need a decision if I'm going to bring people through there or not. So does 80,000 work?
Yeah, you can, if someone can, I would like to do, you know, homework since you are out of state.
Yeah, I can send you our company's information.
Yeah, that's fine. And the person that's coming, just like anybody else, when they, you know, contact me, and we could work at that price. That's in between what we were talking about and what my brother was talking about. But I want to do it basically the old-fashioned way, you know, is whoever's representing you, you know, go sit down, three warm bodies at my lawyer's office. If he agrees it's worth it to y'all and y'all are satisfied, then I'll be satisfied in that manner.
All right, let's do it. Let me call my partner and I'll get some more information and we'll get this thing going. I appreciate it, buddy.
Okay, Zach. I appreciate you. And look, I sleep in, so maybe after lunch tomorrow, I'm going to call, or
yeah, that should work.
Want to do it?
That should work.
Okay, Zach. Have a good evening.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
There we go. So that was it, guys. Just so I know I left everyone on a cliffhanger yesterday on that one. So I just want everybody to understand that gets a little crazy out here. It gets a little crazy wholesaling these deals. But yeah, guys, you can easily close them all day, every single day, just by doing that. Like, yes, like I get the call back. I deal with all that hoopla with that person, but I just want you guys to understand that, like, I wanted to record it just to show you. And yeah, we're editing it right now. That was just a little draft the editor put on there. Worked on it last night. But yeah, I just wanted to show kind of that part of the video that it's going to be recorded. It's probably on the Zach Ginn channel, just because a little extra video, because we have exclusive content on the Zach Ginn channel, exclusive content on the Rick Ginn channel. And from there, also FYI, like, so on the Zach Ginn channel, I go live on Sundays on my own channel, and then we have exclusive content on it. Also on your channel, you got exclusive content for you. You're actually you're doing a whole subject 2 series.
Mm-hmm.
So literally you're putting like a $5,000 subject 2 course, and it's like 6 or 7 parts.
Yep.
And you got the iPad, you're writing everything down. It's pretty cool. And then we're going to do some more series on your stuff too. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the Rick Ginn channel, the Zach Ginn channel. And then, yeah, it's Wholesaling House is for real. This channel too. But like, I just want to give everyone a shout out for all the support and all the other channels we've been getting. It's absolutely insane, right?
I know, it's good. But
It's
people responded, man. You guys are tired of like getting information the old way. Everything's pay for play. You're in a new economy where people actually want to help you out and give you success. And like coaching, I don't know, that word just sounds so tired to me. It's like
yeah.
You need to look for people that really want to partner with you and have an invested interest in your success, and not to the point where they're like using all your systems, buying your products. using all your links. Listen, we provide you guys things we use in our business, but like I believe in them and I actually pay for them and use them. So anything we suggest you in this, we think it's going to help you out. And remember, we don't charge you a coaching fee. Coaching fees are just all it is a barrier to entry, because you're going to get better information from me and Zach, because we actually do this business every day. And there's very few people that have more experience than us. Like, it's just, tell me someone's been doing the business 20 years, please. And I know there are people, don't get me wrong, but like most people, why after 20 years do you have to charge to share your knowledge and wisdom? Why not help people out? So I want to bring as many people up, get them to that first 100 grand, actually get you to your first deal, then get you to your first 100 grand. And this is all doable. And if you'll put in a 2-year commitment to wholesaling, I will completely change your life and the trajectory of everybody, you and your family. I'm telling you, I've done it. That's why he's sitting here. That's why we're sitting on a live stream right before a hurricane. Do I carry hurricanes during hurricane? Yeah, but like honestly, I don't let a hurricane change how I operate. As long as my family's safe, that's all I care about. Like, but it's like I still work, man.
But here's the problem. There's only one channel. There was only one channel that gave out free wholesaling content, like legit, completely free, great content.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot, no one else is going to make one. I'll just make a second one.
Yeah.
I made a third one. So there's only now, it's kind of funny to say, but what is it? 1, 2, 3. There's 4 YouTube channels right now that gives only free wholesaling content. They're not bro gurus. And unfortunately, it's just our stuff. So
it's our stuff. Because the problem is the word free is, you guys, I know you all know this. It's abused. It's like, I'll show you 30% how to do this, and I'll get you just hooked enough to where maybe you engage a motivated seller. Oh, you want my paperwork and you want me to show you how to negotiate. That's in our advanced series, and you need to come over. And honestly, it's good old-fashioned bait and switch, guys. Like I'm just telling you, wholesaling, it is a skill set and you do need to learn it. But like, me and Zach are here to give it to you for free.
Yeah.
What I like to equate to what we're doing is complete disruption of the wholesaling guru course thing. I'm here to rip it apart. And so we have this mentality of like, either you're with us or kind of against us, but like, how can you be against somebody that offers something for free? And all I want to do is help and elevate and pick up people. So the only people that truly dislike what we do are the people that we're ruining their business models. But me and Zach aren't ruining it. It's just time. It's like, I remember we said the internet was internet was a fad, you know? Cell phones. I couldn't imagine, like, I lived most of my life without a cell phone when I was young, and like it changed. So either you change with it or you die. And if you guys stop feeding that old breed, I'm just telling you, it's bad information for the most part. And the fact that they go to conferences to figure out how to extract more money from you, just stop using the word value, all this stuff. Let's just help people out. Let's just elevate them, raise them. Honestly, some people do wholesaling just to dig out of a hole. Some want to do it as a full-time gig. I don't care what your thing is. Like, you're all capable of it. It's not about the smartest person. It's about the person that's willing to commit and work through it. And if we can change it, I'm literally here to disrupt this market. There's a 95% failure rate in wholesaling. Why do you think that is? It's not you guys.
Well, it's the guru saying it, not us.
Yeah. And then the gurus say, well, you know, they didn't follow my program and commit to it. Maybe your program wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Maybe we should stop giving testimonials to someone that just bought your program. Why don't you interview them 2 years later?
These gurus are going crazy. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. We really want to help everyone learn wholesaling for free. So let's get some questions going here. Let's answer some questions we got, and let's get it going. So bring it over. Let's see what we got. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, I got to keep the transparency, because if I tell you I'm going to call somebody out and do it, I got to prove it, right? Like that's kind of the point.
What do you mean? But Zach, that was a recorded call.
No, that the second call was recorded and edited.
It's recorded live, though.
No. Okay. The first call on the live stream was live.
Over. Yeah.
When the guy called me back, it was recorded and edited. So that one was edited just so it's not 45.
Why does every guru want to call a real estate agent and say that's cold calling? Calling a real estate agent is not cold calling, guys. It's not even close.
I know. So just guys, I want you guys to understand that second part I did was edited. I mean, it was recorded live technically on the recording, but it wasn't technically live because I didn't hit the live stream button on it. So, but everyone wanted to know what the follow-up call entailed, so I put it on there for you guys. Yeah, that second call was edited, but like you already saw the live portion of it, so you called me back. Just for the sake of it, I wasn't going to show you guys a 15-minute second call conversation with the guy, but Nye says, hi, Zach and Rick. What's the biggest challenge you or your VAs face when cold calling probates? I think the biggest challenge is people always say, oh, the property needs to be in probate. We have to go through probate before we can sell it. That's the biggest one, right? And they say no off the bat.
Yeah, it's the initial response. And then, well, we got to get through the probate process. So give them a tip on how to get through that first 30 seconds of awkwardness on a probate.
I'm just saying, are the owner and are they interested in selling it?
Yeah, so you don't focus on the probate. Like I would say, hey, listen, I saw somebody died. Like you're not going to get anywhere doing that. Just focus on it. Say, do you have any interest in selling the property? And number two, when it comes up, hey, I got to wait till the probate's done. I go, listen, what if I could show you a way where you can actually get the property sold before the property is complete? Is that something you're interested in? I show you guys all how to do it. You do not have to come. Listen, a probate is a totality. Yeah. So inside the probate are the assets. That's the real estate, which we're focusing on. It's also bank accounts. It's car titles, boat titles, stocks and bonds, anything like that. And so the biggest one usually in there is real estate. And the laws have written an exception to whereas, so you don't have to carry, because sometimes if a probate takes a year, which they can, someone's got to make mortgage payments on it. They got to pay the taxes, the insurance, they got to mow the lawn, keep the utilities on. And for that reason, you can actually have the lawyer file a motion if you have an agreed upon purchase and sale agreement to liquidate the asset. It doesn't close the probate out, but guess what? You get paid, the estate stops bleeding from the real estate, and it's a win-win. Most lawyers tell you not to do it because number one, they don't have to pay any of the bills, so they don't care. And number two, it keeps them in complete control. So if you can strike an agreement with the executor or the PR, which is the personal representative, you now have an agreement. You don't need the permission from the lawyer to do. So if you can strike that agreement, so back to the phone call, when it comes up, well, I got to wait till the probate's done. That's what my lawyer told me. I go, what if I could show you a way? And I use that as a lever to meet with people or have a much further discussion. And so I don't tell them how to do it over the phone ever. I want to tell them in person. That's usually the best way to do it. Or you could do a detailed Zoom call or however you want to do it. So those are the two easiest ways to overcome the probates on the cold calls.
Yeah, don't get too stressed over that.
And try to think of your probates as a warm call because you just have to warm them up. So the best way to do it,
they got
cold, but you got to get it warm. And don't discuss price in your first phone call. You're wasting your time on that.
I agree.
Most wholesalers are going to attack price. So if you don't attack price, you're going to get a longer time to build rapport. And once you start to build rapport, people drop down their shield on you and they start talking to you about problems in life, and you're there to solve them. So that should help you out too.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. So Janine, I will answer Janine's gripe, and we'll talk about this one. Janine says, that was sticky because most of us don't have any company info to send. Do most sellers ask for a company info because they know that you are not in their town? Sometimes they do ask. And yes, I'm going to send them my company's information just because we buy millions of dollars of real estate pretty much every month or every other month. It's at least $1 million in purchasing of just like buy, not even wholesale, right? So what I want you guys to understand here is this is your cash buyers data, and they can be your partner in the transaction. So it's not really sticky because you can just do that. And I don't really see there's a big issue with that, right? Jackson says, what's the best time of day to cold call? The best time of day to cold call currently right now is 2 to 7 p.m., whatever it is. So 2 to 7 p.m. where you're calling. So if I'm calling in, let's say California, that would be 5 o'clock my time, 5 to 10 o'clock my time. So just wait, 5 to midnight, right? So yeah,
just don't call too early, don't call too late. But sometimes the best time is when you can actually
sit down 5 to 10
and make the time and make the calls, because some of us don't have options depending on your job.
Yeah.
So like just sometimes you just kind of get it done. So what time works for you? If you have a choice, you can go between 2 and 7. But if you got to do it when you get off work, then that's the best time.
I agree. And we have a lot of people on this live stream. I want everybody to let me know. Should we start doing some live streams? Not completely, but like we could start doing some live streams at 1 o'clock. Because let me know if that works. Because we're getting a lot of people on. It seems like it's a good time. There's a lot of
It was kind of a last minute thing.
Yeah, well, last minute we didn't really have a choice in the matter here. But let me know if you guys like the 1 o'clock live streams. Makes it a little easier for us. That's definitely kind of what is that?
Some people miss
10
out
a.m.
with work stuff though.
Yeah, I mean
but it's recorded. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's 10
a.m.
West. So yeah, let me know if you guys like the 1 o'clock. I think it's biased because everyone on here.
Everyone's got a
but no, everybody on here is on the 1 o'clock, so it's easier for them.
Exactly.
The people that usually use the 5, they're screaming right now on them. But
we do some late ones.
Yeah,
do 8 p.m. Eastern time, and you do 10 on the Sunday, Monday.
Oh yeah, those are always great. So,
we mix it up.
We mix it up. You know that
we Angel says 1 p.m. is better. I think Angel just made a decision for us. Now, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll see. I mean, I like
we can mix it up a little bit here
times.
Yeah,
I know for the cold calling, we got to keep it at 5 though.
That's true. People are like asleep at 1. They're just waking up.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be cool. Just curious on what people think about that.
2 years better for Lady Ann. So,
yeah. So swordfish. So
everyone likes 5.
Oh my gosh.
See, when you ask, you're gonna get a million different opinions. So.
Actually, I should make a poll.
I'm not even gonna go there.
No, we can make a poll on it. So, yeah, Swordfish has a question. So Rick has actually on his YouTube channel, Rick Ginn YouTube channel. Shocker, but everyone should subscribe to it. He has some exclusive content, and one of them was how to buy a rental property for free.
Yeah.
And part 2 is private. Yes, we put the link on there. It'll come out next week. So just FYI on there. We're doing some 2-part series.
I can't release it all like right away. So subscribe to it. It'll come up. I promise you. And it's really good. So it's stuff I've used personally and you guys can use. So we just kind of like pulse them out and release them.
Yeah, it was a really good video. I'm just telling you guys, like, guys, on my channel, I'm getting really crazy exclusive stuff. You too. It's really great. So yeah, let's go here. And I think on my channel, a lot of my lives, I've been talking really on my own videos, a lot of the kind of the mental part of wholesaling to a point too, which is really, it's pretty cool. So all right, let's go to the let's see what other questions we got here. Hi, Zach. I just wanted to ask what to write in the email to the title. You're overthinking this. Hey, here's a contract. You call up the agent. Technically the escrow agent. If you want to go from there, or the closing person, then just let them know. Hey, I have this person sale, and I'll give the seller's information on the email. Let's see. So apparently the West Coasters like the 10 a.m. time too, for whatever reason. That's kind of cool though.
They're kind of behind on everything else, so why not jump it? So
it's 2 p.m. versus 10, so I think 10's easier for them too. But Joseph says, is it worth it to pull government lists in Staten Island? Yeah, I like the 50-50 approach if you're in Staten Island right now, just because things are a little weird there because the property values aren't too high, but it's kind of weird how the regulation stuff is. So I'd do a 50-50 approach. And so the next question here is, Zach, how do I hop on the calls? How do I schedule a call with you? There's no scheduling. You can't buy my time. I dedicate 2 hours usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays to this. So the only way you can hop on and actually talk to me is you've got to go on the Facebook group. That's Wholesaling Houses for Real. So hop on here. This is Wholesaling Houses for Real. On the pin, I pinned the link. So you hop on there. Here's the StreamYard link. Click there, hop on, talk to us. And then you get to talk to us absolutely for free one-on-one. So that is how it works. So let's do some one-on-ones. I think a lot of people have that question on it. So let's get it. Let's see. Esmeralda.
Oh boy, cool beans. So excited.
What is up?
You guys are amazing, man.
How you doing?
Do a little hop and a dance because I remember one of your videos, Rick. You were saying how you like it when people dance. So
I do. I listen. Let me tell you, I got ADHD. I fully admit it. So like, if you engage me and entertain me, I'll spend a ton of time with you. That's what I do with this guy, man. I'm like, you got to entertain me a little bit. So, and full disclosure, my daughter's really good at it. Like, she knows how to captivate my time. So that's why we have fun. So she drives me crazy, but I love her. So what's going? You look cold.
Oh man, it's so well. The heater kind of makes my head hurt, so I kind of just put up.
Heater. What's that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, right? Well, I just want to do a little hop in the dance.
Awesome. Look at that.
Man.
You're gonna get me dancing in a minute, man.
Oh,
I'm trying to keep my feet like nailed to the floor. We're expecting like 80-mile winds here in about a couple hours. So
Oh, boy.
I'm enjoying the power while it's here because our power goes out pretty quickly around here. That's why we did this a little bit early. So what's going on? What can I help you out with?
Well, first of all, thank you. I'm so grateful for your generosity with your time, man. It's great. So I totally have analysis paralysis yesterday. So on Sunday, I hopped on the live with Zach, and he said, I explained to him the situation with this guy, and he said, jump on it. He said, offer him a deal, because if you don't give any offers, you won't get deals. And I was like, dang, I didn't think of that. Yes. So anyway, I was trying to figure out the calculations and the numbers, and dang, man, I spent like 4 hours.
No. You're
Hey, man.
so listen, have you ever heard me? I give a presentation on this. Number one, how long should you spend looking up comps on a property? If you've watched any of my stuff, how much time should you invest in it?
The videos that I've watched with Zach doing it, he does it in like 60 seconds.
10 minutes max. So I'm giving you like the new learner's curve, because here's the reality is what most people do is they start researching comps, and comps are nothing more in a range. They're usually within 10%. Okay. So if comp range is 200 to 220, pick 200, probably take another 10 grand off of it. That's your comp in this current market. The problem is people start doing comps because you let the seller goes, listen, I can't take less than like 230 for it. And so people spend hours on the comps to try to justify that 230 number. Here's a new way. Have you learned our method of go for no? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea of go for no is what? What's the purpose of it?
So have them say no so that you can get their lowest.
There you go. So just put out a stupid number and just like play awkward and just like, here's what I do. Like, because it's when you get down to the negotiation, make the offer, it's the most tense moment in all of wholesaling. It's just the truth. So be goofy and awkward about it. Think like Rick does. Like, go, listen, if I offered you like 80 grand, like, are you going to like, is that something that would interest you? Just, you almost kind of make fun of yourself. And if they take it phenomenal, actually get nervous about it, or they're going to kind of, and then all you're trying to do is not get kicked out of the house or get hung up on the phone. So when you throw out that number, go, listen, I'm just throw out a number. Like, you can't give me a number. I go, what if I offered you 80 grand? Is that something you'd entertain? And then you just kind of like muffle your words, stuff like that. And you're going to watch the reaction, and how they react is going to dictate what type of deal you're going to get. If you don't do the go for no, you're playing the realtor game. So what do realtors do when they list a property? Do they overprice it or underprice it?
Over.
Yeah, because the reality is they want to think you're getting a deal. So if they offer a house at 249 and you settle at like 220, you think you got a deal, when the reality of the property is only worth like 200,000. So you're going to take the opposite approach. Honestly, you guys spend way too much time analyzing and like getting in your own way. Just figure out the range of the comps. And if it's 200 to 220, that's the comp. Just go in and offer like 100, 110 and just see how they react. And if they don't give you a reaction like they want to work with you, just move on to the next one or put them in your follow-up. That way you don't have to spend any, you don't have to be, you guys, honestly, when I first did wholesaling, I didn't even do comps. I would offer them such a ridiculous low number. I'm like, it's got to make sense.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you'll protect. You are going into a market where the number just keeps dropping. So you got to ensure like the lowest price. So our human nature is to analyze the crap out of stuff. Okay. And I'm just telling you, if you want to make money in wholesaling, like my offers, I tell people, if you have to use a calculator, you're paying too much. Do simple math in your head. I know it gets complicated when there's repairs and stuff like that, but You're looking for the reaction. Either they're going to kick you out of the house and go, I can't do 80, but like I can, like 120. Me and my wife talked it over. That's as low as we can go. It's like a golden ticket when they tell you stuff like that. So that's what people do. They give you their subconscious reaction, and that's what you need. Like, honestly, wouldn't you rather just kind of cut to the chase with them? So you try to build up rapport. You can't do this right off the bat. Just do it by the go for no. So did you do the go for no with them?
So I guess I'm building up the courage, and I thought I'd get on live.
It's not going to hurt. I'm just telling you. Do that awkward, goofy thing. So what's the ARV on the house, you think? Because I know you've had like 5 hours to study it. What number did you come up with? What's the range?
Okay, so the range I came up with was, I think he bought it, according to Zillow, he bought it for 4.5.
I didn't ask you. I said, what do you think it's worth? Don't worry about what he bought it for. That's irrelevant.
Okay. So
what do you think it's worth? You're a realtor right now.
Okay. The range that I came up with is between 5 and 21,000.
Between 5 and what?
21,000.
So 500 to 520, right? Roughly.
5,000 to 21,000.
Oh, wow. Okay. So make a ridiculous offer to him. Just see where he winds up at it. How much did he pay? Now, how much did he pay for it while you're throwing it out there?
The Zillow says he paid for it. He paid 4.9, I think, 4.9 thousand. So
Okay.
4,000.
Listen, you're in such small numbers. Like, don't even struggle with this.
Okay.
Just say, listen, if I give you 1,000, it's something you're interested in, and just shut up. See what he says.
Whoa, 1,000?
Well, like, just start somewhere. Like, listen, that's a very low number. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to let you know, I paid more for my accounting today than you probably paid for this property. So I'm just telling you, it's when they're this small numbers, guys, when you have numbers like sub 50,000, you should like make it really easy because they're small numbers. Percentage wise, they're big, but mentally they're small numbers. So maybe it's 1,500 or 2,000. The question is, what can you sell it for? Have you figured that? I don't want you killing yourself over a couple grand. I want you to have the victory, but I need you to go out and find $10,000 and $20,000 deals. So if you learn from this deal, but don't spend a lot of energy on it, because if there's only a couple $1,000 profit potential, and you've already spent probably 2 weeks on this thing, we're wasting time. I need you to go find other motivated sellers to do this. So just don't get caught up in the listen. You go from 1,000 to 3,000 like that. It's no big deal. It's the same percentages. So the fact that I shocked you with that number is that I need you to start thinking some of that. Remember, you can always come up in your offer, but you can't come down. So shoot for the hips. Okay. Like, let me ask you this. Zach was with me on an appointment once where like we were getting ready to negotiate and the lady offered to give us the house.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like I was getting ready to negotiate. And then I just went through a deal this last week. You know, the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Guys, like, what if I just gave it to you? I'm just like, now these were much lower in numbers. Like you were talking, it happens all the time. People walk away from properties. Counties take them over. You just got to open your eyes up. You think everybody has like a set dollar amount. You'd be surprised what people would do. Okay. Do you know how many churches get properties donated to them? Like you would be blown away. Like people just want to help out. So stop having this preconceived notion in your mind and go and offer the guy $1,500. And when he says no, what's your response? I didn't think you'd take that. I just wanted to see. So like, what's the best you can do on this? Like seriously, what's the number to get rid of this and just leave it like that?
Let me ask Esmeralda a question. What's the tax assessed value on that property?
Man, I looked it up too. If I wrote down like 4 pieces of paper with numbers all over the place, and now I don't even know what's what.
What's the tax assessed value?
I think it was
28,000.
2,800.
2,800.
Yeah.
Offer that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy. Just make the offer. You know what? You're scared.
Yes.
You got to find the deep rooting problem why you're scared of it.
Yeah.
So, and some of this is like psychology. Maybe your parents did a number on you. My parents did a number on me, but just make the offer and you're going to build your muscle up. I don't even care if the deal works out for you. How's that? I just want you to make that offer. So do you do it in person or over the phone?
It's over the phone because it's in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm in California.
So just sound off. If you're uncomfortable, just work with it. Go, well, you know, would you consider $1,500 cash? just shut up. See what he says. You got to really pay attention to the response. The main thing is you got to just make the go for no offer. And remember, you just work your way up. And tough like that one, I wouldn't go above like the tax assessed value on such a low priced property. Because remember, you still got to make money on the exit plan to sell it. So guys, when the numbers get below like 50,000, do not spend a lot of energy thinking about it.
Yeah.
You got it. Just make the offer. The worst, what's the worst he's going to say to you?
He's going to hang up and say, fuck you.
So do you want
Is
me to
that a
hang up
problem?
and tell you that? Because then we can just get it over with now.
Yeah. Esmeralda, I told you 4 days ago to do this.
I know, man.
We should just do a 3-way call and do it right now.
Oh my God.
Now, listen, honestly, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get off, finish the live with us and make the call.
Yeah.
Because your anxiety is building too much and you just need to get rid of it. Think of how you're going to feel. If he accepts your offer, you're going to feel phenomenal. And if he doesn't, you're going to feel phenomenal because you made that step.
Yeah.
Okay. You just have to do it. Like this fear in your mind. Do you not like rejection?
It's horrible.
I
man.
don't. Like, here's a little secret. I don't, he doesn't either, but it's like, I don't let someone's rejection dictate how I'm going to feel though. Like, it's like, okay, if you feel that way, that's it. It's on them. It's not on you, but you have to make offers, guys, in wholesaling, because like trying to tippy toe it. So make it. And either way, you're going to win. So can I commit to that? You're going to make, as soon as you get off this live, you're just going to get it over with.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And I want you to come back on and tell me what you learned from it. And remember, just make the offer and go, oh, I didn't think you'd take that offer. What do you need to get out of this property? And then just shut up and just start playing with them. Have fun with it. You're going to learn a lot. So many people try 5-6 tries and wait 3 weeks. Just get it over with.
Do it.
Build a little rapport, make the offer, and you're going to feel so much better after it. And then the next time you can't wait as long and you're going to do it faster. And remember, you're going to do it over and over. That's how you make money in wholesaling. Okay.
All right. So just give him the offer. And when he says no, if he does say no, say, well, what do you need to get out of the
Now, what do you need to get out of this? Not what are you asking? What's your offer? What do you need to get? You're looking for a subconscious response.
Okay.
Because by the way, all sellers in the back of their mind, they got a bottom line number. They just don't want to give it to you. They have a number like, if I can get this number, I'll move on. And sometimes it changes when they go on it. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
What's your fight song?
I don't
like. What do you listen to get pumped up before you do something crazy? Yeah, I know you do it. I can tell.
Man. When I the first time I listened to the wake up song with the guy with the red robe.
There you go.
Yeah.
So just use it like whatever it is. I don't care if it's Madonna, Metallica, whatever it is, Megadeth. Just get it in there. Just get pumped and go do it. Because that's what I do before I work out. That's what I do sometimes to get like excited. Like you've got to be a figure within yourself. God gave you a superpower. You got to find what it is and just like jump on it. You're an excitable, fun person. Let it come out with your sellers. Have fun with it. Okay. Life's short, man. Just get in there and get it done. You're going to find more of them, but you cannot be successful in wholesaling if you don't make offers. I will guarantee you that.
Okay. So make the offer today. All
Correct.
Right.
So when you're done with the live, you're going to get your fight song and you're going to go make that offer. And then you're going to call us back later in the week and let us know how it worked out. Okay.
That sounds great. I have one last super quick question for Zach. When I just saw how you were talking to that guy that you were talking about yesterday, and when you and him made an agreement, the 80,000, do you just rely on the verbal agreement, or do you email him the contract and get it signed before you get someone out there? Or
yeah, it's verbal during that time, and then we're gonna go over there and get it under contract.
Yeah, then we just do then you just have to follow up and do your due diligence.
Because I have buyers over there, so I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't, then I'd lock it up right now.
So let's say this guy says yes to the 1,000. Let's say he says yes, and I say, so at that point, I would say, okay, can I get you to DocuSign a contract for me? And
nope.
Let's say, oh no.
You said the C word.
Oh, that's right. The agreement, right?
Oh, yeah,
agreement. So just try to not use words too scary and make it like it's awesome.
I can send you over. While we're on the phone right now, let me send you over an agreement over email. What's your email? Boom, sent.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. I'm on it.
You got it. Come
Thank
on,
you.
Esmeralda.
We're gonna
And guys,
get
it's not her
started.
that just has this problem. Like a lot of you are in the
Yeah.
same boat. I'm just here to tell you, the worst people are going to do is tell you no, or they're going to hang up, or they're going to call you a bad name. So if you
Yeah.
want me and Zach to do that for you, we get yelled at all the time. Like I just don't take it personal, and like I move on with my life. Honestly, when people chew me out, I actually wish them the best because they got something going on in their life, and I know they're just vetting on me. And like people are no different. We're just trying to make it work for them. So make the offer, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Rick.
awesome.
Zach.
Have a
Okay,
great one.
bye.
Bye.
All right. Awesome.
That's a good one.
Rebecca.
Hey, good morning. Well, I
Morning.
guess afternoon for you guys.
Morning for you.
Hey, just getting on just to keep my accountability with you guys. Really, I've just been making calls on that struggle bus, but not giving up.
All right. How many calls did you make?
Let's see. I made about 250.
Okay. And how many contacts?
I've had a lot of voicemails. I'm trying to adjust my time for the area that I'm
Yeah.
using. I think I'm just maybe a little too early.
Okay. What's your what is your how many contacts did you have last week?
Contacts, I had 3.
3 contacts last week.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely doing so. How many calls did you make? 250?
Yeah, let me look here. Last week. Sorry, just loading it.
No worries.
Do you hear my dog? Sorry.
I don't mind it.
He's a big knucklehead. Let's see. Last week. Oh, come on, computer. Sorry, it started snowing, and so my internet always starts
no.
to go slow.
Oh yeah. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah, right. It said 300. I made 300 calls.
So if I'm just letting you know, if you made 300 calls and you only got 3 hellos, there's
Mhm.
definitely something wrong with the list or the skip tracing or your phone number.
Okay, so I've got 4 different numbers that I'm using.
That is hands down the worst thing I've heard.
I know it's
3
horrible,
hellos
and it's
in a
very
week.
discouraging to me. But I'm still trying.
Well, I'm trying to figure this out, Rebecca, because I mean, I got what 4 or 5 hellos yesterday in like an hour,
hmm
and those were Fizbos. I was just calling off of Google Voice, basically. Are you using Google Voice? Like, what kind of dialer are you using?
I'm using Batch Dialer.
Okay, so batch dialer should work. And what kind of skip tracing?
Skip tracing is from PropStream.
So you're telling me you're using PropStream skip tracing on a batch dialer, and you're only getting a was that 1% contact rate? What's this list?
I have it's let's see, this one is I seen so I'm in Des Moines, Iowa,
Okay, what list?
and it is vacant. I'm sorry, I have a couple different campaigns opened. This one is a vacant high equity.
Okay, I want you to talk to batch dialer, their support, and just figure out if it's their problem or not. What I want you to really do is do me a big favor here. I want you to call 100 of those vacant property leads in Des Moines, Iowa, on your personal cell or on a Google Voice. Hand dial it.
Okay.
And see how many hellos you're going to get.
Okay.
And then they'll give you a good baseline.
Okay. I can do that.
All right. Get back to me.
All
Let
right.
me know.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. No worries.
Bye.
All right. That dog's driving me crazy. Fiery.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up? How are
What's
you?
up, man?
Oh man, I'm doing fine, actually.
Awesome, man. Love to hear it. How can I help you out?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you see me? Okay,
yeah. Loud and
Yeah,
clear.
we see you, man.
Okay, so yeah, man. I mean, I really hopped on, just to give you guys updates, say what's up and everything like that. It's been rough the last couple months, but I had to cancel a couple deals. But what I need help on, I have a deal actually in the contract now that I'm shopping the buyers. And I actually just emailed you guys as well for the JV with me thing. So I submitted that already. But my question is, I have a property that is on market though, but is one of those old listings, and the seller is actually selling about 6 acres. I went to go see the property and stuff like that, and I think it could be like a great fit for some mobile home. It's actually in McDonough, Georgia, and she said she'll work with me, but my thing is I'm having a hard time, comping and seeing if I could get it locked up with a good deal because I kind of got, how can I say it? I don't want to get this property under contract and then have to cancel this one again. So that's why I haven't got it under contract yet, because I don't want to get it at a bad price. But I offered her 170. She said she will work with me. She won't take 170, but she'll work with me for the 6 acres. But I'm trying to see, how will I be able to comp that? Can I, like send you guys like the pictures and everything, where I can get
Here's
help
the
like
thing.
that.
If you're sending us the deal just so we can comp it for you, that's not going to be a good thing.
Oh no. That one is
No?
a whole nother deal. I mean, I
Okay.
already have
All right.
that under contract. I did everything for that one already.
Okay. My advice for you on 6 acres on property to comp it, you're going to have to talk to a buyer.
Okay.
That's going to be, there's probably 5 or 10 buyers in that whole market for that deal. So, because it's not regular property, right? So you're
Yeah.
going to have to talk to the buyers and ask. That's going to be your best way.
Okay. And it has a property on, the 4 acres she have. There's a property on there, but I think it's like a tear down and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that one she actually has listed on the MLS, but the other one she was trying to, piece together, and they said she'll just charge. I mean, work with me on the price.
Yeah. I would find builders, just cold call builders and see what we can do from there. Ask your title company. If you're in
Okay.
Georgia, it should be a closing attorney. But yeah, I think it'll work out well.
All right. So I'll just get on that. But yeah, man, just wanted to get on to say what's up and everything like that. And I'm close to getting my first deal, so I'm keep at it, man.
I can feel it, man. Let me ask you a question. When you're giving your offers, how are you going to give the offer? Like what technique are you using?
Well, I'm using, your technique. So I'm just basically going on and ask them like, cut and dry, no back and forth. I mean, what are you looking to get out of the property? And some they give me back and forth, whatever. So I just lowball them. I mean, like, all right, would you take 100,000 for it? There's no way I can take that. All right, so what would you want to get out of the property? Then they said, oh, I won't take no less than 215, 220. But then I'm like, I can't do that. So I walked away from a couple deals, just not doing a price and staying firm on my number.
Let me give you a suggestion. I would try to do the good cop, bad cop approach.
Okay.
The reasoning is because the words you say have a big impact if you're going to get the offer or not. So one thing I want to tell you, so would you do 120 or could you do 120? That gives a subconscious that you're not at 120. Like that's not firm, right? Like you're hoping. I'm hoping to take 120. Something along the lines of, and you see this with my offers on the FSBOs of how I get those accepted. Hey, I was talking to my partner, Rick, and he's close to like 100,000 on this.
Okay.
Oh, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Right. You can do that too, and then meet in the middle from there. Well, you got to work with me here. Like he's at this price, and you're at this price. Let's meet in the middle. That might work too. Another one too is, hey, Mr. Seller, based on the acreage here, I probably got to do some work on it. I got to tear down this property. I'm going to be at around 120,000 on this. That's what I have to be at.
Okay.
Shut up. Let him say, this is where I'm at. And that's the final thing. And obviously you can go up if you have to, but like be a little more, I don't know. How do you say it the right way? Like just be very firm
this
with
is it. Because you give people options, man.
Oh,
I mean, let's face it. Negotiations, they want a price. You want a price. That's where negotiations come. But you really need to have them come closer to you than you ever coming closer to it. So if they think there's an option like could, or do you think, when you start using option words, they're like, once they hear it twice, they're like, oh, okay, this guy's going to go up. like once somebody knows like you're done with a price, here's what everybody needs to understand is you can always go up in price. So even when you bluff in real estate, and I do it all the time, if you really wanted it, you can go up, but be careful what you wish for if you get it, because that's the challenge in it. So especially in this current market, when you say, hey, this is what I got, just idea letting know I have limited. So he uses that trick. I use the limited cash availability. Ready for this one? I'm just going to be honestly, I only got 120,000 cash ready to go. But I'm going to look at some other houses this week. Yours is a good fit, but if it's not a good fit, I got to put this to bed and move on to the next one. You can still go up. It doesn't matter. Like you always have the option to go up. You just can't go down. And so let them kind of do the maneuvering, and then you can make the final decision where you want to wind up. So kind of use the word Zach helped you out with it. But like if you have somebody else to blame, either a partner or blame your bank account. Okay. So I've used this one. I'm going to be real with you. I only got $100,000. And if we're this far apart, then, maybe it's not a good fit. You have to have some sort of takeaway. You just can't have the take this price or I walk. You can't be like that transparent. So using the words, the words are powerful, man. Like we hurt each other's feelings all the time with just stupid words we say. Your sellers are hypersensitive to what you say. So just listen to yourself and do a little role playing and practice with your words. It makes a huge difference.
Okay. And
if you offered me like that, I would push you. I would get you up.
It's funny that you say that, because I've been finding a lot of sellers have been, pushing it now that, that you guys put it in perspective. Like they actually do push when I give those option words. So I guess I can work on that.
Kind of like the hammer and the nail analogy. It's like the reality in wholesaling is the idea is you got to lead them closer to you, then you're going to lead to them, or they're not really a wholesale deal. And if they're not bending at all, so you got to start like, why am I negotiating with this person? Most likely they don't have the motivation to sell it. So you go back to the root of the problem. If they don't have high motivation, you're typically spinning your wheels. So, but like every little tip you pick up is going to make you a better wholesaler. And like you learn and you make more money with each deal you do.
Okay. And I didn't even know how to comp this property. I just used, the technique I learned from you guys, videos. It's just, I just timed the asking price by 75%, and then just lowballed that, like gave her that offer 10,000 under that, what that price was.
Don't spend a ton of time copying, because it doesn't matter if the motivation's not there and they're not willing to work with you. More people spend time in wholesaling comping than they actually ever do making offers. So if you can reverse that strategy, you don't have to play by those rules, because if you spend all your time comping, you actually wind up doing the duties of a realtor. Do you know a realtor's job is to comp the property accurately, like fairly, use appraiser data, stuff like wholesalers? We don't care about that. You know what the reality is? Will somebody pay me more for the contracted price I have? And that's how you make your offers.
Okay.
So, well, I was playing some pickup basketball yesterday, and I kind of look at it as like a 3-pointer, right? Like you get the ball, you could spend like 30 seconds getting the perfect technique and form, like you kind of get it okay, and then you just throw it up there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you get too perfect, you're gonna miss out, right? Then someone's gonna come and block you, and then you're screwed, right? That's another competition. Sometimes you just throw it out there. Your technique's okay, right? But like you got the hand on the ball, you're fine. But like sometimes you just got to do it, right? And just doing it gets us so much, right? Like so many people overthink it. Like basketball, if you overthink things, it's over, right?
I've seen your 3-point shot.
Not bad.
I feel like swap people. Shoot them.
Yeah, I'm a little
shoot them. Like they're trying to get that perfect shot on the gator. It's like
you can't. You can't get the perfect shot, right? Like
you
can only be like the best with time and perfect on it. So that's the way I look at it, man. Like you did really good there. You just took the action and boom. So
I keep just understanding, like, don't get deep into the comps. You can have fun with the comps after you get under contract to a point, but like,
no,
dude,
I stopped doing
that. A
that.
lot of time in the beginning on comp. I'm telling you guys, comps are for realtors.
I stopped doing that. I mean, after I seen it when Zach talk a lot of times, and you guys do your videos, I feel like you're talking to me personally. So I don't waste time comping, because I
tell people, if you need a calculator, you're paying too much. Like if you can't do simple math in your head, you're you're complicating it. Like you're trying to like, well, you got to get a 3% discount. It's not going to help you. So
I got
you got it, man. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, man.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a good one.
It's 100% true though.
Well, we're getting down to like brass tat. Like I like this one because we're talking about that's where all those for. Like just make the offer, and then talking to him is like, don't overthink it. Just shoot the offer, and then you got to be somewhat firm to be able to walk away. And understanding, even if you're bluffing in real estate, you have the right to come back and do it. How many times have we made an offer? We've walked away. Why do you walk away? Because you want to test and see if they're going to come back. Guys, I've had instances where sellers have chased me to my car. Like, no, please make an offer. Yeah. When they do that, oh my God. Like, it's like, but you're never going to know if you don't test it. And you're like, well, if I walk away, you're not going to deal. Honestly, if you give them their price there, they'll take your offer all day long. So why do it? Just have fun with it and play with it. Like, you have options. Make it work. You are not here to be a realtor. We do not pay full price for anything. We get deals and then we assign them to cash buyers and we make the spread. Don't complicate this. How do you know you have it right? If you can buy a property at a price and a cash buyer will pay you more, that's how wholesaling works. It has nothing to do with comping. Comping is just a tool to help you out. That's it.
I agree. All right. Laura.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Lovely, Laura.
Sorry. I was in a cafe and I had to step out real quick. Yeah. So I have a question. I had a question about virtual wholesaling and starting out. I'm in an area that I absolutely need to go virtual. So the priority there and with how to start out, I put the question out to the group too. Like, what should I get first? Should I line up cash buyers? I mean, I don't have deals. So do I need to really build my cash buyer list first or should I really just concentrate on those lists and get in something locked up and maybe a title company virtually or boots on the ground? What's the priority there?
Got a lot going on here. Let's
yes.
Let's calm this down. All right. Let's really just make this. So where do you live right now? What city?
I'm in San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. And what virtual market did you choose?
I'm looking at, you know what? Actually, I was looking around Franklin, Tennessee, around that area.
That's great. I think it's a good market. So we have the market right now. So what should you do? I personally think the only way for me to answer that is by asking a question. How many hours are you willing to dedicate for wholesaling?
Per week?
Yes.
I'm that middle, I watched that video you guys did, part-time and then there's part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that part-time. I do have a full-time, but I work remotely, so I can flex, in some hours during the week. So I consider myself around part-time.
So what are we talking here? 5 hours a week, 10, 15?
I can do 10 to 15.
Okay. That's not bad. So let's do 10, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably do 8 hours for wholesaling, 2 hours for cash buyers.
Okay.
That's what I'd probably say.
Okay. Got it.
So I think still finding a deal is going to be the best. And then you can kind of leverage that to find a buyer if you really want to. So I'd probably put 2 hours. Maybe next year, if things get worse in real estate, maybe do 3 or 4. But I think right now, do 2.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Also, now I know you guys were talking about getting some boots on the ground and best ways to do that. Like vetting people when you are virtual, getting boots on the ground, like say you go on to Facebook and you find somebody randomly. Is there any tactics for vetting them so that way you're not just giving the Uber driver $50 and he doesn't actually go to the property and take the pictures,
25 up front, 25 when it's done.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not going to be like, you don't want it to be random. You got to find somebody on purpose. Like you like random's like dangerous. So
right. Okay.
I'm here to tell you, like we deal with this all the time. You are going to go through people and you got to be okay with that. Meaning you're going to get someone that doesn't do a quarter what they say they're going to do. And you just got to move on. Okay. And sometimes you're going to lose a little bit of money, but like once you find somebody, then that's the ticket. The challenge is you have to find a way to vet them. I don't sell a system on how to vet people because it's a pain in the butt. But here's what I always do. People always give you their first impression up front. If it's terrible up front, it's only going to get worse. So just have a vetting system where you can walk them through. And I usually have people follow commands. If they can't follow like 2 or 3 simple commands, I don't want to work with them because that means they're never going to follow directions. They're going to beat to their own drum. And it's not perfect, but you have to do more than random. You got to find somebody, and then I don't need to tell you, you're going to have to talk to them on the phone. And then go, here's the deal. Here's what I need you to do. And then give them a task that's not overwhelming and see how they do. Especially before they ever talk to one of your sellers. If you send some random guy or girl to talk to your sellers, you can ruin the entire deal. So
yeah, exactly. And that's my concern. I don't want to get like some random person.
So don't go like deep in the hole. Vet them, give them 2 or 3 commands, tell them straight up what you're doing, organize your thoughts with it. So like even when I say, hey, I'm looking for to get some help for like some boots on the ground, look in the right groups and then say, listen, if you're interested, do me a favor, shoot me either shoot me a DM. I wouldn't have to do a text or send an email and see if they follow the instructions. And if they follow the instructions, they're eager, it's a good sign. The minute they go south, just like cut them off quickly. So a lot of people just want to get your money and they don't want to do anything. And you're going to have to find a way to vet them through. And understand, you're going to go through some people. This is never, if you get the first person right off the bat, you were really lucky. So just learn from that data and then just kind of move forward. So we've been through multiple people, multiple markets. We're just used to it.
Right. Okay. Great. Perfect.
Like don't fret about it. Just it's a people problem. It's not you.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's why I tell you, if you have an old contact or sometimes, but honestly, I'm here to tell you, sometimes friends and family, it's like worse. Like when you were, so say you were from Tennessee or like you grew up sometime there and you hire an old friend, a lot of times that they don't even take it seriously and they don't even help you out.
Right.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Ask me how I know. So
thank you guys so much.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
Good luck with everything. Let us know how it works out.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Cool. Hello.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah, I just had a few questions for you guys. I mean, the first question, I think the girl before me just kind of answered it, but like, yeah, when I hear you like virtually wholesaling on the Fizzballs on Zillow, I hear you say that you're gonna have your partner inspect it. Is that the buyer or is that your boots on the ground dude?
So for what specific? So say that one more time.
So when you're wholesaling and you get like a deal through, I hear you say like you're gonna have your partner inspect the house just to get the okay on the home. Yeah. Is that your cash buyer or is that your boots on the ground?
Depending on what we want to do. So it could be your cash buyer or it could be someone going by and taking pictures of it. Most of the time, it's somebody taking pictures of the property.
Mm-hmm. So when you do get it, wait, do you already have the contract locked up before you have the buyer go there?
Yes. Always get locked up ASAP.
I mean, since you're not there, do you think that cash buyer could go around you and, sweet talk the seller?
They could.
Has that ever been a problem for you or for you?
No, because I've talked to people before I do it, right? If you have it locked up and they try to sweet talk the seller, fine. I just won't use the cash buyer anymore and they won't get any of my deals. Also, if they put a property in a contract, I'm going to sue the stinking snot out of them.
You can't stop the conversation. It just, if it happens.
That's why people take pictures of it, not the cash buyers, but
no. It's the idea is by having that conversation, you do leave the door open, what you want to do, but it depends on your skill set and your comfortability with that seller. And, you got to know what the risk tolerance is when you do that.
Yeah.
So you can't prevent everything in life. Some people are just bad, but if you have really good rapport with the seller, like most sellers don't want to go around and sign 2 contracts. Most people know that's bad and it's going to blow up on them. So, there's some bad people out there. You can't sit there and prevent your whole business on like that one bad apple. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And honestly, the first person that's going to call you is going to be the seller anyways. And you just got to get rid of that cash buyer out of your system.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you, another question for you guys is, how do you guys determine if the offer or the assignment fee is going to be 5K or 50K? Because
The free market.
The market's going to tell you what you can get for it.
So if I bring it, yeah. So go ahead.
if I offer it to a cash buyer and say I got it under contract at 200 and I offered it 250 and he says yes, then knock yourself out. But a lot of times you should know, like, honestly, if there's no meat on the bone, especially in today's market, listen, if it doesn't deserve more than a $10,000 assignment, if you offer 250, the cash buyer, they're typically like, I don't want to work with you. Like, they don't like to be,
Or it doesn't work. All you gotta do is ask the cash buyer, hey, how much would you pay for this?
yeah.
And if you talk to 10 of them and they all going to tell you they can do 210 and it's going to be a $10,000 profit, that's pretty much where it's going to be at, right? But you got to understand it's a free market. So you have one guy who would say, I'm going to pay you 210 for this. And you have another guy that say he'll pay you 250 for it. It's a free market, right? So it's like, how much is something worth when someone's willing to buy it for?
And sometimes you underbid it. Sometimes you overbid it, and it's one of those things you just kind of learn in your market
And
after
you're
a
never going
while.
to perfectly sell it for like the top every time, but like it's speed, right? So
like the last 4 years, you could get away going over the top. You got the opposite problem now. So
you still can do it though if it's a good deal.
It's a good deal in the right area, the right property. But
yeah,
it's a free market. It's what people will pay for it, and part of your job is kind of feeling it out. Remember, you can always lower the price. You don't want to play the realtor game. 259.9, like, I'm not paying you more than 240. Like, if you got it under contract at 220, it works, like you have to determine it. So, some people right now are struggling just to get a cash buyer. So like, they'll take the first thing comes across their desk. A year back ago, you'd have 10 buyers lined up and they would all bid it up. So it kind of comes and goes. Markets they ebb and flow. And part of your job is to find out when you can take advantage of it. And then when you just you got to cut and run, because nobody wants to back out on a contract. That's the worst feeling.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
you can always change the price. You can always change the price. Like, don't get married on it. Or sometimes when I used to be younger, I used to go, listen, I tell you what, normally I do 250, but because I'd known you'd done a deal before me, it's like, I'll knock 10 grand off of it, because you're so you can have a reason to knock the price down without going, okay, I'll just drop it 10 grand. The rule of any type of market, if you can have a reason to discount something, it just makes people feel better. Nobody likes to go 250. Okay, I'll just give it to you for 200. It looks bad. So, but the market's going to dictate what your profit's going to be on it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to ask for it.
So Zach, on your last assignment that you just did yesterday, do you know what you're going to assign that for?
I'll have to talk to some cash buyers. I have no idea. I think I probably 10 to 20. That's my guess. Could be 5, could be 40.
Okay.
How do you
guys feel about the I've had a lot of people on Facebook hit me up from Pakistan and Afghanistan saying that will do a skip tracing service for me for 3 cents, 5 cents. Have you guys worked with people like that?
I have some questions for you. Why do you think they're actively trying to find you and get money from you? Is it because their service is so good, everyone's coming to them and they're well known? Or are they trying to get to you?
I see.
They're trying to get you to get them because they're not well known enough. And and if they that service worked really well, everyone would be going to them. They'd have a very good reputation with a lot of wholesalers. Unfortunately, they don't. So they're going to individually try to snipe you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. They don't have any good reviews. Nothing like that, right? No. Not at all. That's why they're going after you.
Yeah, I've had a lot of them inbox me and stuff.
Don't bother, dude.
Don't bother with it.
I've been getting that, for the last 15 years. I've tested out. Trust me, they're clueless, and they just want the income on it. And a lot of them, they're going to manually scrape your stuff, which is going to be terrible. So, and then once you pay them, you have no recourse. You have nothing. And what are you going to do? And then they're okay with burning 90% of their customers. And there's a reason why they're doing it that way. If there was a brilliant way. That's why I tell you, buying these private lists, which I used to have to do, it just doesn't make sense with all the companies and the software out there now. So,
also, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Also, what they do is they love being a VA for someone. Like for me, I this happens sometimes where there'll be a VA for me. They'll get a list of like my 50,000 cold calling leads in Port St. Lucie, like from 4 years ago, and they'll sell to you for like a penny each. But that data is 4 years old, right?
Oh, it's burning.
And it ain't going to work because it's 4 years old.
And a lot of them are working as a VA for another investor, and they're just stealing data
Yeah,
from
they're
one
stealing the
person
data.
to another. It's like, it's really bad
First
stuff.
of all, it doesn't work well, and second of all, they're stealing it. I ain't going to promote that. So
And whatever list you pay them to do, they're going to sell it to everybody that was willing to pay for it. And so you're not going to get like private data. So I'm just telling I think you're wasting time unless somebody can prove me otherwise. And by the way, nobody's proved me
there's not
otherwise
one. Okay, I bash gurus all the time. Even the gurus don't promote it, or they don't say you should use Fiverr for it because like even they've tried it and it does not work. Everyone's tried it.
It's somebody skimming someone, and someone's going to get hurt bad. And then remember, when you get that data, they're going to blast it to everybody else and resell your list. So that's the problem with like those types of, if they were legitimate, they would be legitimate companies. They would get a ton of traffic and they'd be profitable and they would provide a valuable service. So they're just targeting you. That's why people like duplicate Zach and me's profile to try to, sell stuff. It's no different. It's just, and these scams are never going to stop. They've been going on since the turn of time. So don't waste your money.
Every time somebody reaches out to me, they always just want something from me. And so when someone reaches out to you, just think, why are they reaching out to me? So I got some people reaching out to me to do podcasts. Like, I should be on your YouTube channel. Zach, you should interview me. I'm so good. I'm like, why are you trying so hard to go on my podcast, on my YouTube channel? Oh, to promote your coaching program, not just to help people out, so why is someone reaching out to you? They want your money. You're a rich American and we want your money. Right. That's the way it's easy money. That's the way they look at it. So
it's endless. Everybody gets it. And that's, so listen, if they send out 5 or 10,000 and 1% respond, then they're just going to keep doing it because somebody keeps paying these guys or gals. And I'm just telling you, don't do it. They're just skimming and they're going to sell the list anyways. And you're going to get, it's just going to make it worse for you. So too many good softwares out there to even mess with that stuff anymore.
All right, I guess, great info. I guess the last question for you guys is, when you guys do get a contract and you guys assign it to like another wholesaler or even a cash buyer, what information are you guys hiding from them? Or like, which one do you guys want to keep confidential?
See, I don't try to hide anything from anybody. And this is the problem that I see a lot of educators in wholesaling say. You got to be transparent with everybody. The only thing that's ever hidden, if you really want to say that, is I never tell the seller my assignment fee, because why not? It's another business. But when I sell a contract, wholesaling is about selling paper. Have you heard of that expression?
Yeah.
So if I was going to sell you a pair of sneakers for $4,000, would you want to see the pair of sneakers before you pay me $4,000 for them?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're going to want to see what do these sneakers look like for $4,000, right? And so you just got to look at it like that, right? So I want you to understand that. So if I'm selling a contract for $150,000, I'm going to want to know what I'm agreeing to. Am I agreeing to pay other taxes? Am I agreeing for them to live in there for free for a year? What does the contract say? So I think a lot of people try to hide the contract from people or hide the assignment. They're going to know what the assignment fee is. It will be on the HUD because wholesaling is, unfortunately, some people don't like this. It's fully legitimate and legal. So it's going to be on a HUD statement because it's legal. Okay. Lawyers put that on there. So your cash buyer is going to know. Okay. And so like, I always see that you can double close if you want to hide your assignment fee, which I think smart thing to do if you're making 40, 50, 60 grand on the deal. But no, I don't try to hide anything from the cash buyer.
Yeah. On an assignment, it has to be transparent because
when you were.
Say that one more time.
You said besides the address earlier. Did you say something like that, or did I miss?
I'm selling it to the cash buyer. No, they have the address. You're talking about you're talking about for getting what they'll pay for the property before you lock it up. Then don't get the address.
Yeah, or
you give an area, or if it's very trusted, they don't get the address unless you have the deal locked up. Once they get locked up, anyone can get the address. I mean, they have to be vetted, obviously, but like I could care less.
And keep in mind the assignment contract, part of the conditions are they have to review the contract.
Yeah.
I've bought deals from other people. Like, I don't want to show you the contract. I'm like, then you don't have anything to sell me. Like, that's it.
Or they could sue you down the line
But
because you weren't transparent.
Yeah, you listen, eventually you got to show it. So like it's
Yeah.
an assignment.
over
You have
here.
to show it. If you want to protect, or maybe someone's super sensitive about the price, your only option is to do a double closing. But listen, in the end, they're going to look it up anyways. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like human nature. So here's my rule. If I'm selling a property assignment to someone and they're struggling with what I bought it for, I don't want to work with them. Like, let me ask you, when you go into the store, when you go to Walmart, do you ask the cashier what they paid for that item before you buy it? Like, you don't even want to know. Either you need it or you don't. And that's how I want people. I'm like, if I bought it for $1, would that bother you? And when they freak out, some people are set in their mind. They're usually associated with realtors. You only paid $100,000 for it, Rick. Why should I pay you $130,000? Because it's worth $160,000. I'm giving you a great deal. Look in the value you're getting today. Don't look at my skill set, because you don't want to like go into my world. I spend a lot of time and money, and it's a specialty skill set I do. So I'm offering you an opportunity. If it doesn't fit, like, move on. And if people whenever they focus on what you bought it for, don't negotiate them, shut them off, because they're just really cheap people. And they're of the mindset, you shouldn't make more than 10%. Says who? So whenever somebody focuses on price with you, if you don't worry about it, and if you truly have to cover sensitivity, understanding you have to do a double closing, because then that gives, they can't look at your paperwork, but there's going to be a fee for it. You got to pay an extra set of closing costs. And that's what I hate about it. So assignments have to be transparent. There's no way around it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm over here in Phoenix, and there's a big guru over here. I'm not going to say his name. I'm sure you know about him, but he kind of emphasizes a lot on the, if it's over 15 or 20K, you double close. And
Listen,
always
You can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It just understand double closing is going to cost, like, it's got to cost you what, an extra $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah, we say 30 or 40, but do whatever you want. I mean,
by the way, there is no limit on an assignment as long as everyone's okay with it and they're not going to get ruffled up. Occasionally I have to do a double close. That most of the time is to protect against the realtor, if there's a realtor involved. So there's no set rules. Like, why give money away if you're being transparent with your seller and they understand you're making a profit? Most of them like don't care. If there's sensitivity there, then do the double closing. But like this, if it's over 15 grand, you got to double close. Why? Like, why? There's no law against it in your state that prevents you from doing that. So unless somebody shows you otherwise, I've done monster assignments. Why give the extra money? Because it's all wasted money. The only benefit of the additional closing is it gives you privacy temporarily, but eventually it's all going to come out when it's in, if your state shares it in disclosure. So,
yeah.
To each their own though. Like, it's, people can do it however they want to, but there is no rule set for it. So,
yeah.
this info is gold. Thank you guys so much for everything.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Have a good one,
man.
All right. Last one. We're going to get Shakir.
Yes, sir. Hey, Rick. Hey, Zach. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
What's up?
Good. Sorry, I was waiting. I didn't think I was going to get on. I had a cool. So my first question, I've been cold calling. What do you lean on, like, when there's, I guess the condition isn't super bad, but there's definitely motivation. So I have like two separate examples. If you want me to keep going. What happened?
Tell me.
Okay. So there was one guy who had the property listed, like he had it listed with the realtor. He had it listed for like $250,000. They cut it down to $230,000. It kind of leads to one of my other questions about like comping, but basically through me running the numbers, I came up with the offer of like 165. Ended up, we were going back and forth about it. He kept texting me, so I figured there was definitely motivation. He wanted to move down to Florida with his brothers, but he apparently had a few properties, and this was one of the last ones that he wanted to get rid of. But through talking on the phone, it didn't seem like we were on the same price range, so I kind of just let it fall to the side, but he kept texting me. So I ended up going on the appointment. Like, I offered him 165, haven't heard much back from him since. And then the other example, the guy, he says that a realtor thinks he can get like 300 for it. This is from a liens list. I ran comps and my number was like 200, so I offered 140 yesterday. He basically told me that he owed 207 and they wanted like 30 to 20K above that. So I don't know if my offers are off. I don't know if the comping's off. And then with the condition, like it isn't like the conditions are super bad, which is, I feel like that's most of the time. There's maybe been 1 or 2 calls where the person's like, this is a complete gut that has to be completely redone. Most of the times they're like describing it like the house is in okay condition. So how do you get them to get?
Yeah. So let's talk about the second property. How does he owe 207? Is that a mortgage?
I think so. Yeah.
You got to ask, right? So how much did he buy the property for? It should have been over that, right? At least 220, 230.
Right.
So if you bought it for 230, just figure out what time if you buy it for 230 like 4 years ago, it's most likely worth more, right? Just looking at statistics and appreciation and what market is this?
This is New Jersey.
Okay. It's most likely going to be worth more. So either your comps are probably too low. I would just see and look. So you got to do you got to look it up.
Yeah, it depends on the condition. Though.
Yeah. See when he bought it though. You said conditions on that.
He bought it in 2020.
If you bought it for 2020 for what price?
I felt like he bought it for 200.
Is that what he said?
He owed 207. Well, that's what like the property assessment thing said.
The property assessment said he bought it for 200. I mean,
now this was a liens list, so I don't know if that's.
Yeah, there's probably a lien on it. I mean, you got to do a win-win. You're not going to do 140 on that. Maybe you try to help him out. Maybe he wants to do it for 210. Let him know we can do 210, but I have to have a partner look it over, and then have your cash buyer look it over and see what they're going to buy it for. Okay. No harm in that.
So, like my other thing with the cash buyers is like, it's hard to like get a cash buyer without any deals. So like, I started off.
Why is that?
What'd you say?
Why is that?
So like, I was cold calling for land for a while, and I was cold calling some cash buyers for land. And a lot of them like just wasn't taking it serious because I didn't have a deal. And then the one person that like I got in contact with that was interested, like I told him I could find off-market lots at a discount. Like he said he was down with it. I ended up sending him an email like with the first piece of land out here that I found that I thought I was gonna have a good deal with. He didn't respond and then like stopped responding to my messages. So at that point,
call him or message him?
I called him. I emailed him that land thing, but we were texting and emailing. I guess he didn't like. I sent him the land with like an asking price. I guess he thought it was disrespectful and just kind of cut communications. So at that point, I thought it was
business is done over the phone, not over text, man.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, of course. We were definitely talking on the phone though.
Well, what did he say though when he gave the offer then?
What do you mean for the land?
Yeah. What did he say on the phone?
So like when we were talking on the phone, like I basically told him I could find off-market lots at a discount. Would he be interested?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, if you find anything, send it to my email. So when I thought I had a potential deal, I sent it to his email. And then I called him like looking for an answer, and he stopped picking up my calls and text.
So like I've said, business is done over the phone, not over email. Okay. Right. So there is some salesmanship when it has to come to selling something, right? You're going to have to call them, get his interest, send him the deal, see his reaction. Over a cold email, he can do whatever he wants to it, right?
Okay.
He can just ghost you because you're doing business over email. Okay. That's not the way you do business. Do over the phone, you'd be good. Also, yeah, cash buyers for lots are like, they're going to want deals. They don't take it as serious. Cash buyers for property, you don't need to have any deals. They'll be fine with it.
Okay. So like back to that original question, how do I get them closer to my number if that condition isn't like super bad? And there's some motivation, but it isn't like I need the money, my son's dying, or like it isn't like a crazy amount of motivation.
Give him an offer, see if he takes it or not.
And if they don't take it, it's time and circumstance, and you follow up, and then you just go find other motivated sellers, and eventually the people in your follow-up, somebody will cave. I guarantee you it. That I make a living off of this. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of people are giving you their poker face, but the poker face, there's nobody there to bail them out on the properties. So if they truly want to get rid of it and they need to sell it, within a 90-day period, they're usually going to make a decision. And that's where you're there to do it. But Listen, for the record, a majority of the people me and Zach make offers to don't agree, and they turn it down.
Right.
But I'm still here 20 plus years. So it's like, I get it. If I make 10 offers, usually 9 of them like completely get blown off. One's like, I'll think about it. And then I just keep going. Because remember, if everybody said yes, this would be super easy and we wouldn't be having this live. So it is a struggle. It is real. You just need more quantity to do it. The only thing that's going to change on take your offer is time and circumstance. And you've got to stay in their forethought when they make that decision. And that's how follow-up works. What do you think is going to happen November, December when they own these exact same properties? Do you think that's going to change? There's obviously some motivating circumstances. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. The offers are going to get lower and there's going to be less buyers interested in it. So like, do not reach. I'm telling everybody on this live, do not reach during this market.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything yet.
But for that second deal, just get under contract and see what they're going to do with it. Just try it.
Which the one that's around 200?
Yeah, maybe your comps are off.
Okay.
Just see it.
For sure. All right.
All right, man.
You got it.
Yeah. You have to have win-wins with your sellers. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. It's a win if you can get some equity out of it.
Yeah.
And just see it. Tell them it's going to be a stretch, but you got to deal with this with your partner. You're upfront with them.
That's it. You got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
Okay.
All right,
man.
have a good
See
one.
you.
All right. Bye.
Oh, guys, that's what it comes down to, guys. All about having conversations and just doing, guys. You're not going to be perfect in wholesaling. You're not going to be perfect when it comes to talking to the seller. You're not going to be perfect when it comes to closing the seller. You're not going to be perfect dealing with the cash buyer for the price of the comping. But the thing is, you got to take consistent action and you'll get the results. So, guys, that's all we can say today. We got a hurricane blowing in right now. So
Let's go, man.
I'm surprised we got 2 hours in. That was a shocker for me, but no big deal.
Yeah.
It's rolling in pretty bad. So
Palm trees are bending.
I'm gonna go home before my house floods. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.
Please.
This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Have a blessed one, guys.
See you guys.
Oh.
Thanks.